I was lucky enough to spend part of my time in Yorkshire up in the capital itself, York, of course, where it was mostly badly hit. And I was over at Skeldergate Bridge, and I was contemplating buying some waders, but I bumped into an old friend of mine. She's a photographer, Sally Shearsmith, and she was wandering about with her Pentax, snap, snap, snappy, snap, and I was thinking, well, I could take a few snaps of people being rescued. There's a big Chinook helicopter coming in. I thought, oh, but then I kind of thought, oh, it's a bit voyeuristic. I felt a bit bad. It's like salivating, waiting for John Prescott's obituary to come on telly. Sort of wrong, but right at the same time. So I said to Sally Shearsmith, I said, don't you feel bad taking all these photographs of people having a difficult time of things? And she said, well, I'll just see what develops. I thought, that's a bad joke, but the joke was on her because she ended up developing pneumonia and dengue fever. Well, the Yorkshire version of dengue fever. They're nasty blighters, them Yorkshire mosquitoes. Oh. Best to smear yourself in John Smith's bitter before you go there, I tell you. Anyway, I was wandering along from there, and I spotted an advert for one of them drones. And I remember that my old pal, Andy Appleton, he got a drone for Christmas last year. And the year before that, I was really hoping history wouldn't repeat itself, because he got himself in a right mess. He got himself a radio-controlled helicopter the year before, and he was arrested shortly after. Apparently something to do with playing with his chopper in the park. Couldn't quite figure that one out. And then, of course, there's my old mate Ernie. Oh, yes. He had a bit of a bad year last year, did Ernie Ecclethwaite. Oh, yes, he was getting his combine out to do a bit of harvesting, and he thought, I'll just make sure everything's all right in the field. Didn't want any animals. He was a bit of an animal lover. Didn't want anything to be run over by his combine harvesting. So he was out there checking the field, and he happened across his missus. She was having a bit of hanky-panky in the crops with one of the farm hands, which just goes to prove the moral of the story. You should never look before you reap. Then, of course, there was the unfortunate side of Ernie's relationship with his wife was the fact he got married in a supermarket. Well, that's where he met his wife. He says, well, it's the best place to get married, a supermarket. You've got everything on hand. You've got the music, piped in from everywhere. You've got the flowers. If there's a petrol station nearby, you can pop to the forecourt and get yourself a bunch. And there's all the food, party food for the reception. He said, but mind you, one word of warning, make sure you marry the love of your heart, or you could end up with a bag for life. Hey, I tell you what, when I got married to the current Mrs. Bernard, we had to live with her mother. But she, the mother-in-law, already lived with her own mother-in-law. She died not long after, bless her. She got quite big towards the end. Strange thing was, she came back and haunted us. Ectoplasm everywhere. I saw a ghost one night. Oh, gosh, she was huge. You wouldn't think you could get an obese spirit, would you? I said, hey, time you moved on. Looks like you need a bit of exercise. I'll stay on the death theme for one final thought about this lady I was reading about who she was so distraught about her husband dying, she decided to move to a house near the cemetery where he was buried. It was advertised as being cemetery detached. Unfortunately, it was the wrong churchyard, as it turned out. So I guess you could say she made a grave error of judgment. And one final thought before I leave you about, again, another lady I was reading about today in the paper, and she basically said to herself, I'm going to get myself all sorted out for the new year. And she went out and started feeding the ducks, as you do. Unfortunately, she was feeding the ducks to her family, as a cheap alternative to chicken and was arrested shortly afterwards. Thank you very much. I've been Ben Bernard, the Master of Mirth. I'll see you again, hopefully one day. Ooh, goodbye. Hey. Thank you very much.